how are you doing? I hope I'm finding you very well wherever you are. I'm coming to you from a very stormy Scotland at the moment. We're just in the middle of some really, really horrific storms. Big one passed through a couple of nights ago. Lots of disruption, travel disruption. We've got fences down. I know one of my neighbours' fence is down, my sister's fence is down. Thankfully, ours are okay, but we do have another big storm going to pass through tonight as well. So we'll wait and see what that one brings. Although we've not really had snow here in Edinburgh, tiny smattering, but that's been it. A lot of the UK has experienced a whole ton of snow. Have you got snow where you are? We've certainly not seen much here, but I know that there has been a huge amount of snow elsewhere in the UK. So very glad to be comfy and cozy inside today with my cuppa. And I realised when I sat down that I'm kind of merging sort of camouflaged against my nice new winter cushions here. So hopefully you can pick me out among all my cushions. I'm just merging right back into the sofa here. You know, I was kind of thinking that January in particular is when we tend to set a lot of intentions, whether that is sort of New Year resolutions, you've formalised them, you've written them down, specific goals, or whether these are just thoughts that have passed through your head, you know, in the past few weeks, maybe end of last year, beginning of this month, thinking, right, this is the year that I'm going to organize the whole house. This is the year that I'm going to declutter everywhere. Or maybe for you, this is the year that I'm going to give a few of the rooms in my home a bit of a mini makeover. It's been long overdue. They need a refresh. And a lot of people can just find that really intimidating. They don't know where to start. And so they just kind of procrastinate, they put it off, and then months pass and a year passes, and then they think, right, this is the year, and then another year passes. I'm sure you get the picture. And so what I thought I would do in this video is just kind of share my framework, what works for me when I think about refreshing the rooms in my home, and hopefully it, you know, might inspire you and give you kind of some ideas. And as I say, I think people just do get kind of really overwhelmed by it. They just don't know where to start. And so with this framework, there's kind of 8 really simple things that I think that you can just switch out in your home, which will give you a really big impact just from the start. And if it does overwhelm you and you think, I don't know what to do, just think about it this way. Your home is for you. You don't need to be worrying about what's on trend or thinking about, you know, what other people are going to think. The main thing is how your home makes you feel when you walk through the door. You're doing it for you, you're doing it for your family. Don't worry about anybody else. But hopefully, in this video, I'll be able to at least bring you some tips and tricks and ideas to get you started. So let's take a minute just to talk about the framework that I use and why I really feel that it's kind of ideal and certainly works for me. And that is that I use the changing seasons as my kind of prompt. So for me, it kind of acts as the when, it acts as the what, and it acts as the how. And what do I mean by that? Well, the when, the seasons changing is that kind of natural nudge. It's my natural prompt that it's time to update my space. Now, for me, I will change up things, you know, for the 4 seasons. So come spring, summer, autumn, winter, and then Christmas as well. So I suppose you could think of that really as kind of the 5th decorating season for me. But for you, you might think about just doing it, you know, for as spring approaches, maybe spring, summer kind of acts as one, and then maybe autumn, winter with a bit of sort of Christmas sprinkled in there as well. So it really does give me the natural when it's time to change. And the what is for me that it really prompts me, the seasons really prompt me in what I want my home to feel like at that time of year. And we'll kind of delve into that a little bit in a kind of few minutes. And then it gives me the how. There are specific things in connection with the seasons, you know, linking my home to the seasons that just tells me how to refresh it. So that's certainly, you know, kind of what I use, and I just find that it does really work for me. So right now it's the middle of winter and I definitely want to create that kind of cozy vibe. I want to surround myself with lots of lovely soft cozy throws. Same with my cushions. I want the place just to feel warm and inviting. And I probably do have a few more things about the place, just in complete contrast to the kind of scarcity that's going on outside just now. Everything is kind of bare. So I probably do just want to create that feeling of abundance in my home. So, I will put kind of piles of throws around the place or pile up some cushions in a corner. Yeah, just to make it that kind of cozy nest feel and that feeling of abundance. And then come spring, I want my home to feel fresh and new. And spring is really a time of renewal in nature. So I want my space to feel rejuvenated. And it's also a time that we can sometimes associate with cleaning. Who doesn't love the impact of a good old fashioned spring clean? So I want my space to feel simplified and uncluttered come spring. And then in the summer, I'm definitely all about blurring the lines between outdoors and in. I want to really embrace nature in my space, making the most of the longer light days. And I want my whole space to feel light and bright and breezy and make it just as relaxed as possible. And then when autumn comes round again, I'm ready to cozy up. As the falling temperatures drive us back indoors, thoughts kind of turn back to creating a space where we'll be sort of happy to hibernate again. And I want the rosy glow of candles coupled with the autumn scents that I crave. A real sanctuary to retreat to as the calendar ticks back towards winter. So, if you think that giving your home a little bit of a mini makeover, a refresh in sync with the seasons might work for you, then what I would suggest you do at this point is make yourself a cuppa, grab yourself a notepad and pen, and just spend a few minutes just jotting down, how you would want to feel in your home in each of the seasons. So, just like I said there, what are the things that are important to you? Just jot down some words that spring to mind for you or maybe some colors. Lots of us kind of see in colors. So for me, if I thought about winter, I probably would think about winter whites. You might see a bit of a theme going on here. But yeah, whites and kind of creams and those kind of colours are what instantly spring to mind for me for winter. And textures really important. So when you're jotting these things down, think about the textures as well. So for me, I might jot down for winter white, faux fur, abundance, cozy, warm, inviting, just write down all the words. Then, maybe for spring, as soon as I say spring, I instantly see the colour green, which, that's not uncommon. Green, fresh, clean, clear, vibrant, or maybe pastel, pale, all these kind of things, and just go through each of the seasons and just jot down whatever comes to mind for you. And that just gives you your feeling. It's all about how your home makes you feel, because that's the really important thing. And yeah, just do that little exercise. It's good fun to do. And just go through each of the seasons and yeah, include Christmas in there too. Include any of the kind of major holidays. And the reason that I'm saying that, we're all slightly different. Maybe for you, you might observe some strong kind of cultural or religious festivals at a particular time of year that have really big important significance for you. So your thoughts of spring, maybe I don't know, maybe there's a festival where the colour is red. So maybe for spring, red instantly springs to mind kind of for you. Or maybe you live somewhere where there really isn't much difference between the seasons. Maybe you have pretty similar temperatures and weather all year round, and your light levels don't fluctuate as much as they certainly do for us here pretty far north in the kind of northern hemisphere. Yeah, I can't really imagine, what that would be like. Lines between the seasons are more blurred for you, so it might be very, very different for you compared to me and some of the others. So, although it might instantly feel like we probably all feel the same in the seasons, could quite easily be lots of variations. So, yeah, do that exercise and see what it brings up for you. You've got your when, and you've done your exercise, so you've decided on what your vibe or what your aesthetic for kind of each refresh is going to be. So you've got your what, and now all we need to look at is your how. So the first thing that I would think about switching out, which I think can just give the biggest impact, is your cushions or your cushion covers. Wherever possible, I try to just switch out my cushion covers because it's so much easier to store out of season cushion covers than it is to, store the whole cushion. I've got a couple where, I saw a cushion that I absolutely fell in love with, so and there was no other way than just to buy the whole cushion. So I have done it once or twice, but certainly this last year I'm definitely all about just looking for the kind of cushion covers to switch out. And that way you can really invest in the kind of cushion pad itself and get what really suits you, because 9 times out of 10 you'll see a cushion that you love and it comes maybe with a synthetic pad that you're not wild about. You maybe prefer feathers, or the other way around, you're allergic to feathers and or you don't like the squishiness of them, you like the firmer cushions. So you can get the pads exactly as you want them, and then you just need to switch out the cushion covers themselves. By far one of the quickest, simplest ways to really create some impact is switch out your cushion covers, and very easy to get them seasonally appropriate as well. You can go for the cozy faux furs in the winter, and then the pastels in the spring, and then some light linens in the summer. And you needn't spend a lot of money on them either. I have got some really great inexpensive ones. These ones I shared in a previous video. These ones were an Amazon purchase. I think I paid something like £7 each for them. I love going to IKEA in the summer. They have some gorgeous kind of linen look, very lightweight ones in the summer. So you needn't spend a lot of money, but it does give you a lot of bang for your buck. Number two on my list for kind of quick, easy switch outs is to switch out your blankets and your throws. Up there with the cushions for the kind of biggest impact seasonally, just to add a touch of the season and to really freshen up your space. So again, in the winter I'm tending to go for kind of the faux furs or the chunky knits, just anything that gives that coziness feeling of abundance. And I do like to have throws about the place right throughout the kind of summer months as well. I understand that if you live in, somewhere, a climate that's extremely hot in the summer, maybe it's just kind of not going to feature in your decor. But certainly here in Scotland, we get some chilly summer nights. So I do like to kind of have them about the place as well. I like to have them outside because, if we're sitting outside in the summer in the evening, it can get pretty chilly. So I do like to have some lighter ones, maybe some nice bright summer ones kind of rolled up in a basket that if we're sitting outside, we can just kind of grab and wrap around us in the summer. So definitely use for blankets and throws throughout the year here in Scotland. But I think it's one of the quickest, easiest switch outs to make big impact in your space, to give it a bit of a makeover, a new look as one season changes into the other. Number three on my list is not one that probably everybody will be able to do or want to, but that is to change out your rugs. Now, it depends on storage space for this, and ideally, if we all had endless storage space, then yeah, we'd have, some nice cozy rugs in the winter months and some kind of lovely lighter, maybe some rattans or something like that in the summer. But I do totally get that, storage can be an issue. But even if it's just a little scatter rug, maybe something that you've got on a bathroom floor, or maybe just a little rug in your kitchen area or your hallway, maybe a rug or a doormat at the front door. That kind of category, we can think about all these things as well. But again, just to switch up the space, give it a little bit of a different look, as a bit of a mini makeover as the seasons change, then changing out your rug could be a great option for you. Number four on the list would be the kind of artwork, photos, wall decor. Now, I'm not suggesting for a minute that you should be, thinking about switching up like all of the artwork on your walls. No, no, I'm just talking about maybe one or two. So I've got a lovely kind of winter scene print that I've got sitting on a unit through there just now. And yeah, that only I only really bring that out in the winter. Or maybe you've got something, a lovely kind of spring scene that you can, pop out, and that maybe would work for you. The other thing that is quite a fun project would be to have a good look through your photo collection and see if you've got some family photos taken in a particular season. Maybe you went on a ski holiday and you've got some fabulous kind of snow pictures, or even just, you know, kids, grandkids building snowmen in the back garden. Maybe for summer, you've got some lovely beach pictures, images. You could think about, doing them in black and white, get them printed in black and white. And maybe in a room, you've got just a couple of frames in a strategic place that you regularly switch out those kind of family photos. Or maybe you do it on a digital frame. Maybe you get a digital frame in the corner and you pull together a collection of fun holiday beach photos, or in the winter, it's kind of all your winter scenes. You can get creative with it. It might be a fun project to do. But yeah, just somehow changing out the whether it's the photos or a little bit of artwork, or your wall decor, to bring in the seasons, and that can really switch up your space as well. Number five on the list of super easy switch outs to refresh your space as the seasons change are all of the things that kind of come into that category of vases, florals, stems, flowers, plants, all the greenery. I think this is one of the easiest things that you can do to really refresh and give your space a whole new look as the seasons change. And it's really interesting. I caught an Instagram post this week by Shane McGee from McGee Interiors, and she was saying, never let anybody shame you into thinking that using faux stems or faux florals is somehow less than, because all the top designers now are using faux stems, faux trees, faux florals, faux everything in their spaces, because they are really easy to take care of and they can make such a big impact. And you can get them at any budget. So, some of them are really pricey. It is really an investment, but it's all about just finding something that works for you. And I've got quite the collection now, and it is just something that I think just makes instant impact. If you've got a vase on your table and you think about, switching out those kind of spring, stems, and then changing them out for something different in the summer, and then introducing some kind of autumn colors, and then, adding something else in the winter, just in that one spot. And you don't even have to change the vase out. You can find a sort of neutral vase that would work across all seasons, but that can really make a big impact. And then the actual vases themselves, that's up to you. Maybe in the summer, maybe light and bright was something that you wanted to achieve. So maybe you use glassware in the summer, a nice glass vase. Maybe in the autumn, the stoneware makes you feel, gives you the kind of cozy vibe. So you might use more kind of stoneware vases. As I said, it's all about how it makes you feel in that space. But that whole category is definitely something to consider. And even if it's just in the spring, popping a jug of tulips on your kitchen countertop, it's all of these things. But yeah, the florals, the stems, the plants, all of that category, think about switching those out as the seasons change to really change up the whole feel of your space. Next on the list for an easy switch out are candles, candle holders, lanterns, all of the things in that category. Now, the candles themselves, I think scent is one of the senses that just evokes feelings. It evokes memories for a start, but scent is so triggering. And so it's one of the easy ways to achieve that aesthetic ambience that you're looking for. And jumping back to the exercise that I suggested that you do, I would say, add scents in there as well. What are the things when you're thinking about how you want your space to make you feel? What do you want to smell in that space? So, think about adding that in as well. But yeah, we can do that with candles or diffusers if you don't want to use candles. But let's put home scent, changing up your home scent as the seasons change. It's a really, really easy way to really switch things up. And then the actual kind of candle holders themselves. I've got a couple of the black lanterns I've shown in previous videos that I got from the White Company. Even if you're using faux candles in those, all about the faux, you can easily switch up the look and feel of the actual lantern itself just by adding in a little nod to the season. So whether that's a little spring floral or maybe some Easter eggs or a pine stem in the winter, really easy to just add a nod to the season inside the lantern itself. So that's a whole other category in itself. But again, really easy to do, really easy to pick up. Scents, candles, diffusers available at any budget whatsoever. And that really does change up the way that you feel when you walk into a space. The next thing on the list, I would think about switching up as you refresh your space are things like decorative bowls and trays. Now, tray decor is a whole category in itself, how to pull little vignettes together. And I'm going to look at that in a separate video. But these just give little opportunities to switch things up. And whether you're using, a tray on an end of a counter or a tray on an island or a little display in the middle of a coffee table, these are areas in your home that you can think about switching up as the seasons change. Just to refresh the space so that it doesn't get too stale and you don't have the same little ornament or little accents in exactly the same spot all the time. Even if you get a couple of things that you love and you have them on a tray with a candle of the season, and all you do is you switch out that candle, or maybe you've got a little decorative bowl and you think about what you could put in it that was seasonally appropriate. So maybe in the winter you have it filled with pine cones, and in the summer you have it filled with seashells or something like that. So it's just another area of your home to think about giving it a refresh or a little switch out as the seasons change. And the last thing kind of follows on from that, and that is all those little seasonal accents or accessories themselves. So whether that is the shells in a bowl or the pine cones in a bowl or autumn leaves that you put, in the base of a lantern, or actual ornaments, holiday ornaments, little Easter eggs or Christmas decor that you can switch out throughout your home just to give you that little nod to the season. Now, this last category, I would say, is probably the thing that when people think about seasonal decor, that's the thing that they instantly think about. And while these are really easy switch outs, you could actually just do without those completely, do all of the other things to really change up the feel and, the kind of vibe and the ambience of your space. And you don't actually need these very specific, very obvious nods to the season. But for a lot of people, and I would include myself in that, it just adds for me that little extra touch. But as I say, it's a completely personal preference. It's all about how you want to feel in your space. So you can completely do without these very obvious nods to the season, follow all the other little ideas and inspirations, and really still be able to completely make over and change up the whole look and feel of your space a few times throughout the year by using this pretty simple framework. So do let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your comments. Please do pop them in the comments section below. If you go away and do the exercise, then come back and let me know what some of your words are that you've managed to kind of come up with for how you want your home to make you feel in the coming seasons. And yeah, of course, I've noticed when I've been out and about in the shops that, yeah, we're still only in January, but spring is hitting the stores and they're full of spring inspiration. And while I'm not certainly not ready to decorate for spring, I'm still thoroughly ensconced in January, finding joy in January. But it doesn't harm to have a little think ahead about how I want to feel in the spring season so that when I am out and about in the shops, if I see something that I think might just be the perfect thing, then I can buy it and tuck it away for the new season ahead. If you found this video useful, helpful, then please do give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing to the channel just so that you can easily find me again. You've no idea how much of a huge difference it makes to be able to continue creating content for you and getting it out there if I can get some sort of feedback on whether you are enjoying these videos. And yeah, it's great to see the subscriber count growing and have more like-minded folk in the tribe. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a good week, and I'll see you again in the next one.